Hi, Scorpio. Scorpio, this is the cosmic weather forecast for the transit of Venus moving through Scorpio. And I'm recording it at the time of 12/9/2020. I channeled some of this and looked at the chart over the weekend, but the chart I was looking at was actually for 12/10/2020, which is tomorrow, Thursday. So I was looking at the planetary movements and the angles the planets are making to each other. And I was inspired to take on some qualities or tap into the energy of this Venus and Scorpio vibration and discuss with you and everyone the topic of sexual intimacy and sacred sexual intimacy, sacred sexual pleasure, what else? Sacred consent. Consent, like actually first and above all, before anything else, is consent. Consent when you go in for the first kiss, consent for the first next touch. Every time it escalates, consent along the way, especially in situations where trust isn't established yet, or there have been some literal experiences in the history between you and another person where trust was compromised. So trust is really important. I know it's super important to a Scorpio. And it's important to everyone, but this feels like it's definitely a Scorpio theme. And Venus being here is really bringing this up. With trust and consent, we can move more fully into these experiences. And I'm interested in having discussions about sexuality and experiencing pleasure in an open and vulnerable way with you and anyone, frankly, who will listen with compassion and integrity. And so I want to do that, and I'm going to. Please check out the first video that I recorded. It goes into a little more detail about how and why and what I am moved to express when it comes to sacred sexual intimacy and pleasure. And so I hope you check that out. It's the first video I posted this week on Instagram. It's on IGTV. And then it's also in the playlist on YouTube for this week's videos. Check it out, and that'll give you a bit more. Other than Venus in your sign right now, there is no one else. There is some intensity with the planet Uranus being in Taurus in opposition to your sign. And that does feel like some changes are happening. Some changes I'm feeling as it relates to literal property and land ownership. There's another word. It feels like something else too. Property, land owning, shelter, specifically like shelter where you are staying. So this is also tapping into some of the Sagittarius karma that wants to be resolved right now. So if there is, sorry, this is just coming through right now. I didn't write this down. Feels like a move is imminent or even partly done. Partly planned, partly done. So I want to say that it feels like you might be getting tired. There's kind of a lot that's going on with this, right? And that could be creating some feelings of exhaustion. But it also feels like there may be some conflict that arises either with the person that you live with or a neighbor. Part of the goal feels like, oh, I'm going to be away from that. I won't have to deal with that anymore. And good. Like I'm sincerely happy for you that you're getting out of a situation or environment that is not healthy for you. But, and I was talking to someone else about this last week. I can't remember who it was. I think it was last week. Without clearing up the vibration and clearing the connection and making it healthy. Sometimes making it healthy means being very firm, a very firm boundary, and you're out. And sometimes that's like the next step in what you need to do. But if there's anything that you feel like you need to take accountability or responsibility for, or if there's anything else that needs to be said before you make the move, for it to be a clean break so you are no longer energetically tied to the land from which you are leaving, or the neighbors, or the roommate, or whatever it is. So clear that up as you go to make your experience in your new space so much more fulfilling, and you will enjoy it so much more. I also think that if you can do that and genuinely show up for yourself in integrity and alignment for yourself, that you'll be able to move through the moving process itself with so much more grace. And part of that is just going to be because you're not in your head about what you should have done differently. Okay, here's what I wrote down for you. Sorry, that was a tangent. Thank you for the energetic nurturance, Scorpio, you're providing to Venus right now. A personal thank you to the Scorpios I have known who have shown me willingness to connect intimately, deeply for an immersive love experience, because that is the experience I have had with Scorpios when it comes to love and sexual intimacy. It does feel intimate, deep, and immersive. Sometimes it can feel all-consuming. But this is a beautiful part of chemistry, attraction, and love. And I'm sort of in awe of it. It's really it's almost like a drug, right? This week, though, Scorpio, support yourself with warmth, love, art, beauty, and self-care. Let tears flow as needed and as desired. Consensual exploration of taboo sex fantasies with your beloved. I wrote down, okay, yes. So if there's anything coming up that you have wanted to explore, the energy right now with Venus in Scorpio definitely supports that. And of course, at all times, consent first, everything else next. And yeah, I think that covers it for y'all. Oh, it will get more emotional. The reason I wrote down that about crying, it will become quite emotionally potent, emotionally potent this weekend. I think it's on Friday that the moon moves into Scorpio, and then I believe it's on Saturday that the moon makes a conjunction to Venus in Scorpio. So that's just a lot of emotional potential, okay? Like there's a lot that could be stirred up, and it will likely be related to love. You could also check out which house Scorpio is in your chart, and particularly looking at where, I want to say that Venus is at 23 degrees Scorpio. So checking out 23 degrees Scorpio in your chart to see where the moon will be hitting and see which house it's in. So if it's in the 4th house, some parents, family, emotional, like childhood stuff could be coming up. If it's in the 5th house, it could be related to fun and sexy time in a fun way. In the 7th house, it could really directly impact your relationship. That's all I got. Let me know how it goes this weekend and with the move, whoever's moving. Okay? Love you. Bye.